Welcome to New on Music Row. It's Chris Miles. We have a jam-packed show like we do every single week. This is episode 41, by the way. I know that because last episode was 40. I'll keep track of them. But coming up on this episode, we've got the 5 picks, and there's some great heavy hitters in this week's 5 picks. Stick around. You're going to want to get all the details. We're talking Ella Langley. We're talking about Luke Combs, and we're also talking about Jelly Roll. I guess we should probably call him like Veggie Roll now, right? Anyway, we're going to give you all the details of the 5 picks and everything else we do in the show right here, only on the Rise Network. Stick around. The new episode's coming at you in just a little bit. Hey everybody, welcome to episode 41. I'm Chris Miles. So happy that you're here. It's New on Music Row right here on the Rise Network. Episode 41. We had episode 40 last week, so now I'm going to be able to keep better track of it. I got everything in my notes and all that kind of stuff. So, but anyway, we had some interesting picks last week, and we've got some interesting picks coming up this week. Let's look at what happened last week. Cloud9 from Mega Maroney. I don't think anyone's surprised with where this one ended up. 3.1 million streams. I think that's pretty much where we all thought it was going to land. I thought it might be a little bit higher, but you know, still, nonetheless, I mean, you can't shake your finger at 3.1 million, right? Then we had the band Perry with Psychological doing fairly well, 113,000 streams rather. And then Alana Springsteen, who was also last week's Rising Star Spotlight. Her song is Note to Self. And she had about 74,000 streams, so a little bit under where we wanted her to be. But you know what? Keep listening. Get on Spotify, get on Apple, wherever you stream music, and just listen to that song. I think you're going to really enjoy it as well. It's got some methodical or medical principles to it. If you have, some struggles and things of that nature. Up next, we had Russell Dickerson and the Roses, 540,000 streams. Russell still showing that, he's the king of pop country. And last but not least, George Burge featuring Luke Bryan, a song called Ride, Ride, Ride. 569,000 streams. So George is starting to come into his own. If you haven't checked him out yet, make sure you do. We've got all his stuff on the Rising Star Spotlight, and we've got in the playlist for New on Music Row. You can check all the songs out there as well. It's right there on Spotify. Just look for New on Music Row. Every single song that we talk about on every episode has been listed in there, and you can just kind of listen to everything. You can listen to it while you're at work, doing whatever mundane thing you're doing at work, data entry or whatever. Or maybe you're not doing a mundane thing, but you just need like music for a distraction. That playlist is a perfect thing to do. So check it out. It's on Spotify. It's called New on Music Row. Speaking of checking it out, let's check out this week's 5 picks. Starting off with a guy from Conroe, Texas. Parker McCollum's got a new one out. It's called Killing Me. If you don't know who Parker is, make sure you check out songs like Pretty Heart, Handle on You, and Burn It Down. Those are some big ones for him a couple years ago back on the radio market or circuit. Next after that, Ella Langley from Hope Hall, Alabama. She's kind of a household name at this point. Her song, Be Her, out now. You can listen to it in the playlist as well. Ella's last song that we featured on the show was Dandelion. A couple of people told me they didn't really like it as much, but I think you guys are going to like Be Her a little bit more than that. Then we had a guy from Huntersville, North Carolina. I don't think he really needs much introduction. Luke Combs, going to be doing some stadium tours this summer. I think like Saturday shows. I know there's one up in Green Bay. I'm going to be at that one. So if you see me, say hi. It's Green Bay Stadium, though, Packer Stadium. So maybe we won't see each other. Maybe we will. But look out for me. I'm going to have my New on Music Row t-shirt on as well. So it'll be kind of cool. But his new song is Be By You. And you can check that out on the playlist as well. And then Jelly Roll, like I was saying in the promo, can we call him Jelly Roll anymore? I mean, like, holy mackerel, has he gone through such a huge change? And it's really cool to see, what he's gone through. Somebody was joking one day and said, maybe we should call him Veggie Roll. I don't know. Anyway, he's got a great song out called Thorns. And if you struggle like he does, you've probably already heard some of his stuff and you've already connected with him. I think Thorns is going to be another one that's going to connect for you as well. He's from Antioch, Tennessee. And I mean, if you don't know who Jelly Roll is, then, what are we doing, right? And then last but not least, for the 5 picks, we've got Corey Kent and Empty Words. He's from Bixby, Oklahoma. That's just south of Tulsa. If you haven't heard of Corey Kent, it's okay. There's some, he's got a few tracks out there that some of you may know. Wild as Her, This Heart, Now or Never featuring Lauren Elena. And then his latest hit, Rocky Mountain Low, featured Ko Wetzel as well. All those songs and a few others are on the playlist, like I said, on Spotify. Check it out. And then, of course, the 5 picks going to be on there as well. And let's take a recap and see what we are looking at this week. All these songs coming out to radio. A couple of them came out last week, but they were late releases, and they kind of just like flew under the flagpole there. But first we had Killing Me, Parker McCollum, then Be Her, Ellen Langley, and then Be By You, Luke Combs, Thorns from Jelly Roll, and last but not least, Empty Words, Corey Kent. All great stuff. Check out the video for Killing Me from Parker McCollum. I wish I could put it in a playlist for you somewhere, but I can't. But it's really cool. It's kind of a cool dance video as well, too. It's cool to see Parker dance, too. I didn't know he had those moves. But that's a look at the 5 picks of the week. Let me know what you think in the comment section. Of course, if you've got suggestions, some stuff that you want to hear or talk about, or maybe you just want to say, hey, have you checked out this artist? Please, by all means, let me know. You can hit me up on social media as well, Chris-Miles or Chris_Miles_DJ, almost everywhere, Instagram, TikTok, Spotify, all that kind of stuff. But again, let me know. That's how this show goes. We thrive off of your comments, your suggestions, and if you've got a birthday shout-out coming up a little bit later in the episode, we'll talk about what happened in country music history on this particular day. We always usually cover a birthday or two, but if you want a special shout-out to a special someone, we can do that for sure. We can also talk about the Rising Star Spotlight of this week. It's Cannon Cox. He is from Hendersonville, North Carolina. I found him just kind of like in a random playlist somewhere, and I was like, "Oh wow, this guy's got some some interesting influences." He is a country artist, but he cites pop icons like Michael Jackson, Stevie Wonder, some 80s boy band like Hanson. I don't know if I'd put Hanson in a 90s boy band. I don't know if I'd put Hanson in a 90s boy band, but I guess maybe in a stretch. Bop, I'm not sure. Anyway, and then he also has a pop country fusion, as to what he describes his music as. He says it's a slinking around. He blends traditional country storytelling with polished pop production. And you can check him out on the playlist there on Spotify, new on Music Row. I'll put up You Never Left, which is his latest single. And then he always tells people to check out either As You Leave or When It Comes to You. Also great songs from him as well. A little bit about him. He is a self-taught instrumentalist, like right around the age of 9. He picked up the mandolin. And he taught himself to play. I mean, think about that. Like the mandolin, like it's such a small, like guitar or form of guitar. And he learned how to play from that. He also knows how to play the fiddle, the guitar, the piano, and the violin. And he grew up in a musical family who kind of encouraged things. He also had a pretty prominent high school sports career as well. But he holds a theater degree, a musical theater degree, BFA from musical theater from Catbawa College. And he says that's the influence to his high-energy performances and the way he does his videos, kind of the cinematic approach to them as well. Like I said, at one point, he focused on a major lifestyle change. He lost about 65 pounds, and he used that as an inspiration for the confidence themes in his music video for Lie. So he's got some great stuff, got some great vocals as well. He can kind of be seen in a lot of different places. He's open for Chase Beckham, Jason Aldean, Walker Hayes, just to name a few. He also was frequently in the Rising Stars Performers, which is a big concert that happens out in the Nashville area along with some other high growth independent country artists. We're talking about Spencer Crandall, Alexandria Kay, even Cooper Allen, and them all kind of being on the same festival bill at the same time, supporting each other, like they do. He got a big break from Bobby Bones, his 2021, I think it was. He had a chance to get an encounter with Bobby Bones. And then he invited him onto a show, and Bobby invited him because he liked Cox's hustle. I think the musical theater degree helped with that. I don't know. I'm kind of pulling at straws here, but I mean, that's what it's about. It's about representing yourself, getting out there, and then, just chatting people up. And even before that, he was a cruise ship performer. He spent about 3 years performing on Carnival Cruise Lines, often as a solo acoustic artist. So great Rising Star Spotlight for the week. You'll check him out. Listen to the music on New on Music Row, the playlist there right on Spotify. But that's the Rising Star of the week, the Rising Star Spotlight. Kanan Cox from Hendersonville, North Carolina. All right, moving on. What happened on this date in country music history? Well, we're talking about February 20th, to be exact. In 1981, in Oceanside, California, Chris Thile, musician with the acoustic folk progressive bluegrass quintet called the Punch Brothers. He was part of that. He was nominated for a Grammy Award for Best Country Instrumental Performance for the 11th Reel, and that it was in 2006. So happy birthday, Chris. Got a great first name, by the way. And then in 1984, American singer and songwriter Audra May. Here's the really cool thing. She is like the great niece of Judy Garland. She got some material out there you can check out as well. She also co-wrote Little Red Wagon, which was recorded by Miranda Lambert. So she was born on this date in 1984. Moving on to On This Date in Country Music History, 1954, Slowly by Webb Pierce became the first #1 song on Billboard's country charts to feature the pedal steel guitar. Now, Pierce's biggest hit was In the Jailhouse Now, which charted for 37 weeks in 1955. In 1991, we're doing a huge jump here. Country music winners at the 33rd Annual Grammy Awards included Kathy Mattea for Where Have You Been? She also won Best Country Song and Best Country Vocal Performance. Best Male Country Vocal Performance went to Vince Gill for When I Call Your Name. Best country performance by a group was the Kentucky Headhunters for Pickin' on Nashville. And then Best Country Vocal Collaboration went to Chet Atkins and Mark Knopfler, really, from Dire Straits, as a matter of fact. That's kind of an interesting combo. They did a song together called Poor Boy Blues. I'm going to put that on the playlist so you can check it out. It's a really interesting duo and a really interesting song as well. Moving on to 1993, Billy Ray Cyrus was #1 on the U.S. country chart for probably the worst hairdo in his life. No, I'm kidding. Of course, the song that pretty much put him on the map, right? Achy Breaky Heart, right? I shouldn't talk about hair anyway. All right, moving on to 1996, Alan Jackson made a guest appearance on Home Improvement. Was singing Mercury Blues. Oh, I love that song. Basically, singing it kind of tongue-in-cheek to good old Tim there. And also the Tool Girl was involved. But anyway, they were just basically to look good for him, and then he could do a song, kind of a promotion thing, basically, is the way that it worked out. And then last but not least, in country music history, in 2005, Leanne Rimes performed Nothing 'Bout Love Makes Sense, and Big and Rich performed Save a Horse, Ride a Cowboy. Now, this was at the halftime of the NBA All-Star basketball game, which took place at Denver, Colorado's Convention Center. Not a lot of people talk about these halftime shows at All-Star games, especially when they lead into country music. I mean, we talk about the Super Bowl, right? And the halftime show there, and, some people are for and against it and all that kind of stuff. We're not going to cross that ground here, but it's kind of an interesting coinkydink that, 2 weeks after the Super Bowl, with this performance in 2005, right? Well, let's look at country music history on this date, February 20th. We won't talk about the year because obviously the years are listed there. But in that little segment there, we do birthdays. Like I said, if you want to give a birthday shout out, please, by all means, hit me up in the comments and let me know. It's time for the weekly pick. Now, the last couple of weeks, I have been giving you a artist who was kind of like just on the border of being a rising star, but not necessarily there just yet. Well, this week, we're going to little gear shift here because sometimes I talk about how it could be a song that's the weekly pick. It could be an artist that's the weekly pick or something like that. And this week, I went with that. Ingrid Andress had a song that came out a couple weeks ago called Now I Know. And it is an amazing song on so many levels. If you're familiar with Ingrid, you know about her struggles with alcoholism and the things that she went through and stuff. And this song is just an amazing, look back in about how life can lead you in different directions once you get out of that little comfort cocoon that sometimes you wrap yourself in. Now, if you're not familiar with Ingrid, she was born in Southfield, Michigan, as a matter of fact, and then she was raised at Highlands Ranch in Colorado. She's got some great stuff out there, More Hearts Than Mine, kind of a song that I think most of the people know of her by, or maybe you know her by the song called The Stranger. Even more so, you probably know Wishful Drinking, which featured Sam Hunt. That one played really well on the radio back in the day. And then she also has a really cool, she's featured on a track for Teddy Swims called the track is called Bet on Fire. It's an amazing song. It's got an R&B flavor to it, so, it's not what you're used to with Ingrid, but, I mean, you know what? To hear her vocals on almost anything, it's pretty cool. Make sure you also check out Good Person and then Ladylike. Those are some other great tunes from her as well. Now, let's get back to this new single we're talking about, Now I Know, of course, from Ingrid Andress. And it was just released. It's part of a progressive release scenario. She's going to release a couple more singles, and then finally the album's going to come out. She is working on her third album right now in studio with Sam Ellis and Derek Sutherland. But she describes this song as an anthem about the pain it takes to break out of the cocoon that kept you safe. So it kind of, rang some bells for me as well. I'm sure you'll probably find a way to identify with the song as well. Like I said, the whole album is going to have a theme of growth, focused on self-discovery and resilience, following a period of personal processing, I should say, and reflection. Like I said, we talked about how she had the alcoholism and the addictions and things of that nature, working her way out of that. I'm really looking forward to this album to see where she ends up with the different ways that she's going about things. She is in total charge of the creative process, co-writing, co-producing, along with Sam Ellis and Derek Sutherland. So you know that it's going to be a great album when it finally comes out. No real word on when it's going to come out. Now, if you're looking to see her live, as of right now, she's only got one thing booked. She's doing the Drifters Music Festival May 23rd and May 24th. It's the only appearance that's listed on anything tour-wise for her, but I'm sure once the album comes out, we'll start to hear about some sort of tour. Did you catch her, was it 2 years ago, maybe even 3 years ago now, when she opened up for Keith Urban? That was pretty cool. She decided, she told the fans that she was going to be out in like the merchandise area, and she would be out there to sign albums and, take pictures and all that kind of stuff. So she's really an approachable individual as well. And I got to spend a little bit of time with her, waiting in line, just get her to sign some things and stuff like that. It's pretty cool. The other cool thing about her is that she had a heavy metal phase. I don't know if you knew this or not. I didn't know this either until I found out about this. Long before More Hearts Than Mine, her real first musical venture was a heavy metal band in middle school. How weird is that? It's such a cool story, right? She jokes and she says she was a very, very, very angry 8th grader. I can see that. So that's a look into Ingrid Andress. Of course, the track I want you to check out, it's going to be on the Spotify playlist called New on Music Row. Don't worry about it. It'll be there. Now I Know, Ingrid Andress, the latest single from her. I think you're going to like it. I think it's going to resonate with you. I think if you're struggling through something right now, maybe trying to find a new path in your life or whatever may be going on, I think the song might help you get through that as well. You know what else helps is live music in the area as well too, right? Upcoming shows this weekend. Well, there's a bunch of stuff going on today. If you're looking for live music on Saturday and Sunday, there's a bunch of cover bands kind of all over the place, but two big acts in town tonight. Aaron Lewis is at the Rialto Square. Why is Aaron on here? Well, he was with Stained, but he does have a couple of country albums out there. And an interesting twist on some of his stuff that he does. So he's at the Rialto Square tonight. If you want to check him out, tickets are still available. I know there's a limited quantity, but you can check him out there as well. Also, Brandi Carlile is going to be at the Allstate Arena tonight. Tickets still available for that show as well. But again, make sure you check with Ticketmaster or any of the other outlets you use for your tickets as well. So that's the 41st episode of New on Music Row. What'd you think? Let me know in the comments. Of course, next week we'll be back again with the 5 picks. We'll talk about where the songs landed from the 5 picks of this week. I have a brand new Rising Star Spotlight for you and a weekly pick as well. But you know what? You can only catch it here on the Rise Network. So make sure you're tuned in here every single week. And until next week, I'll see you on the flip side.